Hello and welcome to the daily Micronational episode for the week ending on the 19th of December, courtesy of the only daily newspaper that doesn't upload daily. The Tsardom of Nolland recently held an election we should probably be talking about, because after the ballots opened, the citizenry went to the polls and the results ended up looking like this, with the resultant division of the 7 seats in Parliament looking like this. This raises a deep concern for the Nollandish government. With the United Nolland and Nollandish Liberal parties split evenly down the middle for seats, what happens to the 7th seat which has been left out of our pie chart? The answer is deadlock. With both parties tied for votes and the only other party, the National Conservatives, lacking the votes to claim it, the government is stuck for the moment. Obviously it can't be stuck forever, and work is currently going on to unstick it, with an alternative vote election being held to try and attain one singular winner for that seat. Rumours are circulating that the United Nolland and National Conservative parties will attempt to work together to achieve second preferences, perhaps with a view to forming a coalition government in the long term. So far, no further developments have arisen and the election appears to be still ongoing. The Secretary-General of the Nollandish Confederacy, Kit McCarthy, resigned earlier this week, citing an inability to balance the demands of his various commitments both inside and outside micronationalism. In a statement to the Nollandish Confederal Parliament, the outgoing Secretary-General said that he has been unable to devote the required time for this post, and that he hopes whoever steps in to replace him has a more united vision for the Confederacy moving forward. Mr. McCarthy nominated Leon Williamson, former Secretary-General of the Nollandish Confederacy, for the new post, a nomination that was confirmed by a successful motion of confidence in the Confederal Chambers of Parliament earlier this evening. Mr. Williamson has publicly stated that he will serve as Secretary-General until February, when the next Confederal election takes place, after which time he will resign the post and from Confederal business altogether. In the meantime, Horatio Eden, MCP for West Korea and Under Secretary for Journalism and Public Outreach, has been appointed as his Deputy Secretary-General. Horatio Eden and Thomas Cassidy, Chief Minister and Leader of the Opposition of the Beacon City Municipal Assembly respectively, gave their opening speeches to the Assembly earlier this week. Chief Minister Eden of the Lighthouse Caucus, in the interests of being as brief as possible, laid out the 4 major points for his legislative programme. The creation of a judicial body with the power of judicial review, that is, the power to strike down unconstitutional acts of government legislation, the creation of a treasury to, quote, make the funding process of legislation as well as the implementation and oversight of the economy of Beacon City more efficient, the use of the new Beacon City Broadcasting Company, or BCBC, on which he, Prince James I and Kit McCarthy all sit as executives, to produce Hansard-esque transcripts of government debate, and finally taking a greater stance internationally, furthering inter-micronational relations with other micronations outside of their mother state, the Wurtish Empire. Meanwhile, leader of the opposition Thomas Cassidy of the Social Democratic Party put out a somewhat similar manifesto, desiring the creation of a Lord Chief Justice to oversee the new judiciary, as well as measures to ensure that each government minister is accountable to the Assembly, and that we have a more open and transparent government. Furthermore, a plan to create a system akin to the United Kingdom's Public Whip programme is also apparently in the works with an SDP High Command. So far, 3 bills have passed the new Eden Assembly, 2 of which are administrative bills carried over from Richard Hytholiday's tenure as Chief Minister, and 1 that created Horatio Eden's Hansard programme. War broke out in Serbia yesterday between the Micronation of Korea and, allegedly, the organised supporters group of the Serbian football club Partizan Belgrade. According to sources within Korea, 2 military operations have taken place, with only the first one, titled Surprise, making any headway, with Korean forces capturing the house of one Grobarian sympathiser. The war began as a result of a Grobarian apparently making a video of himself burning a Korean flag. That's all the news we decided was fit for your ear holes this week. Make sure to tune in next Friday for more micronational news stories. Subscribe if you want, but you don't have to, I'm a reasonable guy.